Welcome to episode number 39. And today's episode, we talk about emotion, we talk about intelligence, we talk about riots and protesting. There's a lot to this, so make sure that you stay tuned. So the big question is, how do ambitious people like us, who grew up listening to the old advice of go to school, work hard for 40 years, and retire when you're old, create a life today that is meaningful, abundant, healthy, and brings joy, while also leading a life that is productive and full of achievement? That is the question, and this is the podcast that will help give you the answers that you're searching for. My name is Del Denny, and welcome to the Upgrade Your Life podcast. This is Del Denny with the Upgrade Your Life podcast, and today, as I'm reflecting this Monday, thinking about everything that's happened over the weekend, in the United States, there are a ton of riots, there are tons of protests, there's tons of emotion, and that's what I really want to talk about today, is the emotion in the United States. Now, I think this is very important to talk about emotion, because emotion can get the best of us. There's a saying that I believe 100,000% to be true: when emotion is high, intelligence is low. Now let me say that again. When emotion is high, intelligence is low. And we have to be careful in the world today with our emotion, because it's so easy to get our emotions riled up. And when we do that, we don't think properly. And so there's three things that I think is important to think about when it comes to our emotion. And the first one is this: whoever controls your emotions controls you. So think about that. And a lot of people think that they're in control of their own emotions, but there's some very skilled people out there that know how to rile people up. And for me personally, I think it's the news. I think it's the media. I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan of the news. On the left or right side, I think both of them are there to rile up your emotions so that they can control where you go, where you vote, what you do, what you eat, what you see, how you believe. And so we have to be very careful about what we allow into our brains. We don't want to have someone controlling our emotions, because if they're controlling our emotions, then they're controlling our intelligence. Now, the second thing that we need to do is that we need to pause and be subjective. If we start feeling ourselves getting a little bit riled up, we see our emotions rising, it's good just to stop for a second and be subjective to yourself as, hey, what's going on here? Why do I feel this way? If I was my own coach right now, what would I tell myself that I need to do? And then go do that. Don't get yourself so riled up that you start burning bridges, that you start acting out, and you know that you're going to regret this thing that you're about to do later. Just pause and be subjective. Now, the third thing that we can do is this: if we want to get that emotion out, or put it aside, the third thing that's really important is we have to change our physical state. And so if we get in an argument, if we get worked up, well, we need to change our environment, our physical environment around us. It's walking away. It's taking a walk in the woods. It's going for a workout. It's going for a drive. It's changing our physical state, which helps us to get our emotion back on track. And I think this is so critical. And this little bit of knowledge has served me well through the years, because I've always recognized that when emotion gets high, I might not make the best decisions. And for me, I'll give you an example. It's kind of funny. A couple years ago, I went skydiving, and we did a tandem skydive. So brand new to skydiving, I wasn't about to jump out of an airplane by myself. And so what I did was, the instructor attached me to him, and He attached me before we got on the airplane. And as we were on the airplane, everyone was like really kind of freaked out because they're about to jump out of the airplane. I was calm. I was calm and collected. In fact, it actually kind of made the instructor feel a little weird because not too many people are calm like that. And I personally, when it comes to when stuff hits the fan, so to speak, I get very, very calm just because I know this. I need my intelligence right now. I need to have all my wits about myself. I need to make good decisions. And if I want that to happen, I have to keep my emotions low. I have to keep them low so my intelligence is high. And so we just have to train ourselves. We have to train our mind. We have to be subjective. We have to change our physical state sometimes. And as we do that, we can accomplish a lot of good things. And so I really want to echo that message as things get crazy right now in the United States and perhaps over the world, is that with all these protests, with all these riots, it doesn't matter which side that you're on in this debate or whatever you want to call it, emotion is high on both sides. And so we have to be careful in the things that we do. And so when emotion is high, intelligence is low. That's the message of today. Make sure that we remember that. So if you get yourself feeling a little worked up, just remember, change your physical state. Just remember, whoever controls your emotion controls you. So if you don't want to be controlled, you be in charge of you. You be in charge of your own emotions. So that's it, my friends. That's today's episode. Hey, if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe to this podcast, I'd appreciate it. Show me a like, show me a love, show me a little bit of comments there. Let me know that you're alive and that you're paying attention. If there's something that you'd like to see or me address on the podcast, please put it in the comments. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I will definitely reach back out to you with that. So that's it, my friends. Remember, learn, lead, and live to your full potential.